Hello, my name is Free Happydolphin and today I'll be giving you tips and tricks on our soccer stars. Quick note, if anyone here measures the experience in the game by the level, they should know that this account is created for a channel and I have no experience in it. I played on it only for recording purposes. So if you already thought that I have no experience and could not provide any tips, well, think twice. So some tips might sound simple, but if you remember and use all of them, I'm sure that you could challenge even the most experienced friends. Starting with the first one, I try not to get you to rocket science right away, but it sounds like this. Do not waste your first shot. I see a big advantage for a player who got a first shot because then you can put your opponent in so uncomfortable situations with a good first play, and that's really the only thing what you should seek if you want to win. So if you are a beginner, you should choose one simple, not too open formation and think about your first moves for formations you meet the most often. Then you will be ready to take your time on aiming for that shot of the game. The second tip is keep your players spread out. There is also another tip hidden here to do not have players near borders, but you will understand everything really soon. In Soccer Stars, you can shoot to any direction with any force. So a player with the most value has maintained all these features. To fully understand what that actually means, let's look to the red player in the center. He has the most value because he can reach any area in this map with the same force. Of course you are not going to keep all your players in the center. This is only for a better game understanding, but we will talk about it later. Let's look to pair of two connected blue players. They are blocking half of a possible shot area for each another. So by making two of your players half efficient, you are literally playing 4 versus 5. Another blue player is in the corner and he is actually worst of all three because he covers about a quarter of the field, and that is because he cannot reach the opposite upper right corner with a good force. So right now, when you know all these principles, I have a task for you. Find the worst and the best players that wasn't mentioned before. So probably you are right. The worst player here is the red player who is closest to the right upper corner. Because if the ball doesn't come to that area, this player is completely useless because other two teammates are blocking even that quarter of the available possibilities to shoot. But I will no longer bother you with a smart speech because that the best player what I asked about is actually that only blue player in the right side, and it leads us to the next tip. Have a balance between your players in the left and the right side. And this is the thing that I said we will talk about later. Even the center is the best place theoretically, you are not going to try to place all your players in it, and that's not only because it's physically impossible, but because Soccer Stars is a team game. And if you have more than one player, it's much better to divide the jobs between them. In the Soccer Stars we have 5 players, so some of them will be attacking, some of them defending, and some will do both. By not going so deep in the actual placements, we always must to have a goalkeeper, 1-2 players in your side to defend and take a long shots that are sure to hit the net, and 1-2 players to attack from a side front positions like that perfect blue, and the one player in the center whose task is to make shots, defend and replace any other player in the structure. And of course, if you try to apply these last 3 principles or tips in your game, you can be a person with a worse accuracy, but you will win even slowly but surely. Before going to the last tip, which is so super important but I wanted to put it first, a small tip is here, have a rest. if you want to have the best results, it's much better to have a nap for 15 minutes instead of playing immediately in your, let's say, 30 minutes of free time. Same thing is with all information and tips. I hope that you already found something useful and but you would like to see the part 2 of the tips, gameplays proving these tips, and maybe some more detailed tips with the answers to your questions. So while information is searching a place in your head, in this 10 seconds of a break, I invite you to like this video, subscribe for more content of the soccer stars, and of course write any questions or impressions down below. So here is the most important tip, because this is really what players forget. Do not move your goalkeeper if you do not score in that move. It sounds simple, but I have seen tons of players who try not to move their goalkeeper at the start, but after quite a few shots, they eventually move their best defender and get into really tough situations. So if you see a possibility to score and the biggest chances to do that is with your goalkeeper, do that, but in all other positions, look twice, because I would say that in 85% of situations when you think that goalkeeper is really the only option, you have a better one. So thank you for watching my tips and tricks, the first part. So the second one is coming. Subscribe and hit the like button if you haven't done that yet. If you want to see the second one, also gameplays and any answers to your questions, or even the deeper tips and tricks are coming if you show your interest. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episodes.